Hello students, welcome back to the English class. Today I am going to explain the chapter The Red Trap by Salma Lagerlöf. Salma Lagerlöf was a Swedish story writer. All her stories have been translated into many languages. A universal theme runs through all her stories. The theme is that there is a basic human goodness in every human being, and it can be awakened by love and understanding. In this story, there is a poor rat trap seller. He is called peddler. He goes around selling rat traps of wire. But his business is not profitable, so sometimes he has to beg and steal. One day he steals the money of a farmer. He finds himself in trouble. There is a young lady in the story whose kindness, love, and understanding reforms the peddler. He is a completely changed man, and he tries to free himself from his dishonest ways. So let me explain the story. The rat trap. You know what is the rat trap? Everyone has seen. If anyone has not seen a rat trap, he or she can see it. He or she can see the picture given above the title of this story. The rat trap is a small box of wire or wood that is used for trapping rats. Once upon a time, there was a man who went around selling small rat traps of wire. So, long back there was a man who sold rat traps made of wire. He made them himself at odd moments from the material he got by begging in the stores or at the big farms. So these rat traps was made by himself, and he made them at odd moments or unusual moments, and he made these rat traps from material that he got by begging at stores and big farms. But even so, the business was not especially profitable. He made those rat traps from material that he got by begging at stores or farms. Even then, his business was not profitable. He could not make any profit from the business. So he had to resort to both begging and petty thievery to keep body and soul together. Resort to means turn to. And to keep body and soul together means to survive. Since his business was not profitable, his business could not earn him enough money to survive, he turned to begging and stealing or thievery. He turned to begging and thievery to survive. Even so, his clothes were in rags, his cheeks were sunken, and hunger gleamed in his eyes. Gleamed means shone. Even so, even after begging and stealing also, he remained a poor person. His clothes were in rags. Rags means old and torn. His clothes were torn, his cheeks were sunken, his cheeks were hollow, and hunger gleamed in his eyes. Hunger shone in his eyes. It means that one could see hunger in his eyes. He was still a very poor person. He used to wear torn and old clothes, and his cheeks were sunken due to hunger, malnutrition, and one could see hunger in his eyes. No one can imagine how sad and monotonous life can appear to such a vagabond. who plods along the road, left to his own meditations. No one can imagine how sad and monotonous life can appear to such a vagabond. Vagabond means a wanderer who wanders here and there. And sad and monotonous. Monotonous means dull and boring. So no one can imagine how sad and monotonous life can appear to such a vagabond. For such a vagabond, we can imagine how dull and boring or sad life can appear to such a person who plods along the road, left to his own meditations. What does such a vagabond do? A wanderer. He plods on the road. Plods means walk with heavy steps, as if he is tired. He plods along the road. He walks with heavy steps, left to his own meditations, and he is lost in his thoughts. Meditations means thought. Left to his own meditations means he is lost in his thoughts. So we can imagine how sad and boring life can appear to a person who walks on the road and he is lost in his own thoughts. But one day this man had fallen into a line of thought which really seemed to him entertaining. But one day he was walking and thinking, and then an idea came into his mind. He fell into a line of thought. Means while thinking and thinking, one particular idea came into his mind. He had naturally been, and that idea seemed to him entertaining. It was quite interesting to him. He had naturally been thinking of his rat traps when suddenly he was struck by the idea that the whole world about him. What happened? He was walking and walking, and he was thinking about his rat traps. Because he sold rat traps, so it was natural for him to keep on thinking about his rat traps. So he was thinking about his rat traps. When suddenly he was struck by the idea. He was struck by an idea, means suddenly one idea came into his mind. What was that idea? That the whole world about him, the whole world around him, about him means around him, the whole world about him, the whole world with its lands and seas, its cities and villages, the whole world including all these things, cities, villages, lands and seas, was nothing but a big rat trap. One philosophical idea came into his mind. What was that idea? This world in which we are living, with all its cities, villages and lands and seas, the whole world was nothing but a big rat trap. The whole world was a big rat trap. It had never existed for any purpose than to set baits for people. Set baits means, bait. Bait is the food that one puts on a hook in the rat trap to trap the rats. It is called a bait. So it had never existed for any other purpose than to set baits for people. According to the rat trap seller, the whole world was a big rat trap, and it existed. The purpose of its existence was only to place baits, to place food on the hook for people. For people means to trap the people. It offered riches and joy, shelter, food, heat, pork, and as soon as anyone let himself be tempted to touch the bait, it closed in on him, and then everything came to an end. You know that people put some food inside the rat trap to trap the rats. In the same way, he says, according to the rat trap seller, this whole world was a big rat trap, and what was the bait in it? The paid was riches and joys. Riches and joy. Dhan daulat. Riches means wealth. Dhan daulat. Riches and joys. Shelter and food. Heat and clothing. These were like beds. Riches and joys. Food, heat and clothing, shelter. All these things were like beds. Exactly as the rat trap offered cheese and pork. What the people put in the rat trap? In our area, people put a piece of bread to tempt the rats. But in this area where the story was written, maybe the people put cheese and pork inside the rat trap to trap the rats. Exactly as the rat trap offered cheese and pork. Okay, so the word, this is a comparison between the word and a rat trap. The rat trap seller imagines that the whole world was a rat trap, and what the world offers to trap the people. It offers riches and joys, food, shelter, clothing, these things. Just like the rat trap offers cheese and pork. Okay. And as soon as anyone let himself be tempted to touch the bed, and as soon as anyone tries to touch the bed, tempted means lured, attracted. As soon as a man is attracted to touch the bed, it closed in on him. He is caught. The man who touched the bed got caught inside the rat trap, and then everything came to an end. Means then the people who are caught in the rat trap of the world, they suffer. So what it means, this is the main idea of this story. According to the peddler, the whole world was a rat trap. It offered joys, wealth, riches, food, shelter, heat, all these things as a bait for people. And when anyone tries to have these things, he gets caught in the rat trap. Just like a rat gets caught in the rat trap when it tries to touch the bait, such as pork and cheese. You know cheese, but pork is the meat of a pig. It closed in on him means he's surrounded and gets caught means he is in difficulty, and then everything come to an end. Then he suffers in his life. The world had, of course, never been very kind to him. So it gave him unwanted joy to think ill of it in this way. Unwanted joy means unaccustomed joy. Joy that one is not used to. The world had, of course, never been kind to him. This world had never been kind to the peddler. The rat trap seller, in this story, we call him peddler. Peddler means a person who sells something by going door to door. This man used to sell rat traps by going door to door. That's why we call him peddler. The world had, of course, never been kind to him. So this world had never been kind to the peddler. So it gave him unwanted joy to think ill of it in this way. So in this way, he thought ill of the world. So it gave him joy to think ill, to think bad about the world. Why? Because the world had never been kind to him. He was never treated kindly by the world. So he got pleasure. from thinking ill of the world. It became a cherished pastime of his. So, in this way, when he thought of the people about the people who were trapped in the rat traps, when he thought like this, it gave him joy, and it became a cherished pastime of his. Cherished pastime means favorite pastime. So, when he thought like this, it was a cherished or favorite pastime of the peddler. During many dreary ploddings, to think of it, during many dreary ploddings means dreary means boring or dull. Dull plodding. Ploddings means wanderings. When he would walk along the road and sell the rat traps, so it's called dreary ploddings. During his dreary plodding, during his dull wanderings, to think of people he knew who had let themselves be caught in the dangerous snare. Snare means trap. And of others who were still circling around the bed. So it was his favorite pastime. It was his cherished pastime. What was his cherished pastime? To think of people he knew who had let themselves be caught in the dangerous snare. So during his dull wanderings, he thought of people he knew who had been trapped in the trap of the world, who had been caught by the trap of the world. And he thought of others also who were just circling round the bed. They means who were about to be caught. They had not been caught, but they were about to be caught. So he thought of people in this way. He thought of people who had been caught in it. It means that who were in difficulty. The people who had been caught by the rat trap of the world were supposed to be in difficulty because of their dishonest ways due to which they were caught. And some other people were on their way to get caught in the rat trap. It means they were just circling, they were hovering over the bed, and they were nearly to be caught. Okay. One dark evening, as he was trudging along the road, he caught sight of a little grey cottage by the roadside, and he knocked on the door to ask shelter for the night. One dark evening, as he was trudging along the road, one dark evening he was walking with heavy steps along the road. Trudge means plod. Plod means walk with heavy steps. So one day, it was late evening, and he was walking with heavy steps. He was plodding along the road, and he caught sight of a little grey cottage by the roadside. There was a little cottage, a small cottage by the roadside, and he saw it. And he knocked on the door. Then he knocked on the door to ask shelter for the night. Okay. Nor was he refused. Nor was he refused means he was not refused shelter. He was given shelter. He knocked on the door of the cottage and asked for shelter. Nor was he refused. Means he was not refused shelter. He was given shelter. Instead of the sour faces which ordinarily met him. What it means? Sour faces means unpleasant faces, which ordinarily met him. What it means? Ordinarily he met sour faces. Whenever he knocked at any door, he was not welcomed. Ordinary people who opened the door, he did not like him, and they did not they did not help him. So he was always met by sour faces. The owner, who was an old man without wife or child, was happy to get someone to talk to in his loneliness. So when he knocked on the door, he was welcomed. Not like before. Before, he was not welcomed. He met sour faces. But this time, there was an old man who lived without wife or children, who was alone. So he was happy to get someone to talk to in his loneliness. Because he was lonely, and someone was there, so he was happy to have someone with whom he could talk to. Immediately he put the porridge pot on the fire and gave him supper. So immediately this old man was a good host, and he immediately when a guest came, he immediately put porridge. Porridge is a kind of meal, oatmeal. He put porridge on the fire, on the stove, and prepared porridge and gave him supper. Okay, and he gave him food to eat. Then he carved off such a big slice from his tobacco roll. He had tobacco roll, and from tobacco roll he carved off. Carved off means cut off. He cut off a big slice of tobacco from the tobacco roll. Okay, that it was enough both for the stranger's pipe and his own. Means they used the tobacco for smoking, for the pipe, and pipe is used to smoke. So, so he did two things. When the guest came, he immediately gave him supper to eat, and he also gave him tobacco to smoke. Finally, he got out an old pack of cards and played majolis with his guest until bedtime. And finally, in the last, he got out a pack of cards, playing cards, and played majolis. Majolis is a game of cards. He played a game of cards called majolis with his guest until bedtime. So until bedtime, they played majolis. Okay, so in this para, what we learned, the peddler, he was walking along the road, and he saw a cottage by the side of the road, and he knocked on the cottage and asked for shelter. An old man welcomed him, and he gave him shelter, and he gave him porridge to eat and tobacco to smoke, and he also played him a game of cards. He welcomed him because he was lonely, and in order to pass time, in order to have good time, he welcomed the guest. The old man was just as generous with his confidences as with his porridge and tobacco. As generous with his confidences. Generous means large-hearted. Confidences means secrets. He was generous with his confidences. It means that he shared his confidences with others easily. He did not hide anything. He was generous. He was large-hearted with his confidences, with his secrets. He did not hide anything. He disclosed his secrets to everyone easily. And he was just as generous with his confidences as with his porridge and tobacco. You know that when the peddler came and he gave him porridge and tobacco immediately, it means he was generous with porridge and tobacco. In the same way, he was generous with his confidences, with his secrets. So what he did, the guest was informed at once. Because he was generous, so he informed his guest at once. What he informed? The guest was informed at once that in his days of prosperity, his host had been a crofter at Ramsjo Iron Works and had worked on the land. So what he told him, the farmer told his guest, what he told, that in his days of prosperity, when he was wealthy, prosperity means khushhali, when somebody has all the things to enjoy life. So in his days of prosperity, his host means the farmer, had been a crofter. The farmer had been a crofter. Croft means small farm. Croft means small farm, and crofter means a person who rents or owns a small farm. So the farmer was a crofter at Ramsey Iron Works. The farmer was a person who had rented a farm, a small farm at Ramsey Iron Works, and had worked on the land. And he worked on the land. Okay, so he had a small farm. He was not the owner of it. He just worked on it. He used the land and paid rent for that. So now that he was no longer able to do any labor, it means that he had become old now, and he was not able to do any labor on the field, on the farm. It was his cow which supported him. The farmer had a cow which supported him. Which supported him means he earned money from the cow's milk. The cow supported him. Yes, that Bossy was extraordinary. The farmer calls his cow Bossy. Bossy means someone who acts like a boss, who likes to give orders. His cow was Bossy. He calls it Bossy. Yes, that Bossy was extraordinary. It was an extraordinary cow. She could give milk for the creamery every day. The cow was extraordinary, and it gave milk for the creamery every day. Creamery is the factory where dairy products are produced, like cheese and cream, or butter, cheese, cream. These things are produced in a creamery. So that extraordinary cow gave milk for the creamery every day. It means he sold milk from the cow to the creamery. And last month he had received all of 30 kroner in payment. Last month he had received all of 30 kroner in payment. So the farmer told his guest, the peddler, that his cow supported him. He sold milk of his cow to a creamery, and he got money from it. And how much money he got? Last month only he had received 30 kroner in payment. Kroner is a Swedish currency. The farmer had received 30 kroners by selling cow's milk to the creamery. So this is the secret that the farmer told his guest, the peddler. Okay, what the secret? That once upon a time he was a crofter. He rented a land, but when he became old, he could not work on the land. But he had a cow who supported him financially, and he sold cow's milk to a creamery, and he got enough money to survive. And he told his guest that he had got 30 kroners only last month as payment. The stranger must have seemed incredulous, for the stranger must have seemed incredulous. It means that the stranger, incredulous means showing disbelief, means by his expression, the peddler did not believe. He did not seem to believe that the farmer had got this much money, that the farmer had earned this much money by selling cow's milk. He seemed incredulous. The peddler seemed not to believe his words. Because the old man got up and went to the window, took down a leather pouch which hung on a nail in the very window frame, and picked out 3 wrinkled 10 kroner bills. So since the peddler did not seem to believe that the farmer had earned this much money, 30 kroners, by selling cow's milk, so what the crofter did is that, now we will call the farmer a crofter. The old man was a crofter. So he is referred to as crofter. So what the old man or the crofter did, he went to the window and he took down a pouch which hung on a nail in the window frame. There was a nail in the window frame and there was a pouch that hung from there, and he got the pouch. He took down the leather pouch from the window and picked out three wrinkled 10 kroner notes. There were three 10 kroner notes, and those notes were wrinkled. Wrinkled means notes which are old and having lines. मुड़े तुड़े हुए notes होते हैं. That is called wrinkle. So those 3 kroner notes were wrinkled, and the old man saw those notes to the peddler in order to make him believe that he had actually earned this much money by selling cow's milk. These he held up before the eyes of the guest, nodding knowingly. These 3 kroner notes he held in front of the eyes of the guest. Means he showed him, nodding knowingly, and then stuffed them back into the pouch. Then he showed the notes to the peddler, his guest, and then put it back into the pouch. Stuffed means to fill tightly. He put it into the pouch again. Okay. So in order to make the stranger believe that he had actually earned 30 kroner by selling cow's milk, the old man showed 30 kroner. The old man went up to the window and he took down a leather pouch that hung on a nail in the window frame, and he showed the 30 kroner note to the peddler, and then he put it back into the pouch and put the pouch at its place. Okay. So my dear students, I think today's explanation this much is enough, and tomorrow we will continue the explanation. Okay. Till then, thank you and goodbye.